Oh.
Mortis Media.
Don't mind me
Good
picking
evening.
my nose.
And welcome. As we go through life, there are always people who you'd rather not meet, who may or may not be on certain illicit substances
Dude,
to make
I don't
their
wanna meet-
reactions somewhat different than they perhaps usually might be.
Dude, I don't
I
want to meet
suppose we're
you.
about to find out.
You sound like you're
So get comfortable
scary as is.
and let the darkness take control.
You no void take control, you little son.
A little background information about me. I have panic disorder. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a mental illness that causes extreme anxiety,
Oh, well,
severe panic attacks,
you ain't
and a
gonna do it
slew
here.
of problems. I've been suffering with this for over a year now, and while it's getting better, it is still very difficult to deal with. Please keep this in mind. My husband and I have been married a little over a year now.
Ugh.
The time we were married, unfortunately, I was
better
undergoing
be role-playing as
medications
somebody
that no
else.
doctors could seem to explain. I was having panic attacks all the time, and they would be so severe, I would have to be taken to the ER. Where they would have to literally sedate me to calm me down. I was also losing weight at an exponential and scary rate, becoming sicker and sicker as time went on. Not even a month after we were married, I
Dude.
lost my job and was homebound while
I need someone here to watch this with me. I can't take this. This is as bad as the Extreme Hills biome and Sea Minecraft. Boys, this is gonna be so painful right now. Alright. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this.
my husband worked second shift, which was 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. He would arrive home at around 4 a.m., leaving me alone most of the time. My parents and younger brother lived close
I can't even
by,
hear this.
perhaps a 10-minute drive at most. But at the moment, my mother, who is a school teacher, and father, who works in a factory, were unable to watch over me.
Your mom was a school
They
teacher and
called
didn't
me
care
as
who
frequently as they could,
you
but that was all they could do.
solely
May
say
I was told
you.
by doctors that I was
Man!
living on death's door, and unless something happened quickly, my family was
That
going
ain't
to
right.
lose me.
Darn that.
I was given medication
Darn
to
all
help
of
with
that.
the panic attacks and to get me to eat. They wanted to hospitalize me, but I refused. My parents decided that when they and my younger brother
can't even
went to
hear 'em.
Florida the next
But I
month,
know
they were taking
you
me
guys always, every time I tell you guys to tell me
My
something
parents
down in the
decided
comments below,
that when
you
they and
totally
my
always
younger brother
do.
went to Florida the
So,
next
what I'm
month,
gonna do is I'm gonna
they were
blast
taking
this
me to
volume, and if you guys think it's
Keep
too
in mind,
quiet, please let
they
me
were
know.
anxious and extremely sick. Around this time, the real issue.
Okay, was that good enough? Guys, tell me. No, like, straight up, actually. I freaking told you 2 videos or, like, 2 Halloween videos, something along those lines. Now tell me if the thing was too quiet or too loud. Could you hear my voice? No comment. Like, I'm just gonna do I need the animal crackers to tell me what the volume height is? For Pete's sakes, people, please. Would you do this for freaking PewDiePie? Oh my, yes I would. Yeah, go foots. Like, like how you people who love Sunday would do. Well, I'm over here asking, is the volume okay? Like, okay, well, I'm just gonna assume it's okay, because, I legit asked a question and I got no comment, so I guess it was picture perfect. Let's continue. Wrong pause. I Now here we are.
And he always said they were odd, but they didn't seem to be of any concern.
Oh,
However, once I came into the picture, that changed.
here's what's all the
The
problems.
person who lived in the trailer before us
You are the
was
problem,
actually
dude.
a cousin of mine,
You're the
who
reason why
rented from another cousin
you're the
and
one.
his wife,
You're the
who lived
storyteller.
states away.
Of course, you're the
Nora
problem.
was a huge druggie and a drug dealer. So people got used to getting their fixes and drugs at the trailer we now live in. Then a
Yeah.
few months before we moved in, she got in trouble with the law and landed in jail for some time. I'm guessing our neighbors who, according to our landlords, were drug addicts and raging alcoholics as well. And they thought that perhaps she was back. I'm not quite sure. I suppose this is because from where I was so sick, and my husband slept when he
Bruh.
could from both working odd
This
hours
guy
and
is
taking care of me,
horrifying.
so they never actually saw us. They just knew that someone was there. They became active at night. During the day, they were predominantly quiet. Every once in a while, they would do something outside, but for the most part, nothing really happened. It was always after my husband left for work. My car
Oh yeah, did you
was still
follow him?
there,
Were you his car?
which should have
Bruh.
told them at least someone was still home. It started off
Are
innocently
you the
enough,
freaking mom of the
driving up and down in
the
front of the house, parking
Twin
in the
Towers or
road
something? What?
directly in front of it, and waiting. They'd honk the horn, but I ignored them.
I honked the
Several
horn,
times I called
but I
my
ignored
parents,
them.
asking them what to do.
They shook my hand,
They
but I
said
shook back.
for me to just ignore them,
What?
because maybe they thought Nora was back.
Okay,
And
now
after
I
some
know what I
time,
was saying
they'd
about
get the
Sunny,
hint.
but
It was new people.
you know, like
Maybe.
I know what I'm
So I
saying.
did just
Like
that. For
he
a time.
talks about
When they
his daily
started
dose
driving
of
up the driveway and stopping
2019,
at the porch,
and I'm over here
That
just
was
chilling
the
out in my
first time that I called
cozy
the
through
cops.
1999
All I was
house.
told was
You
as
know, it's been
long as
longer
they didn't
than that, but
encroach
I'm
on
just
my
saying.
actual property, there was nothing they could do. They advised me to turn on the lights to my house, signaling I was home. I couldn't sleep,
Signal this,
despite
son.
needing to.
You ain't getting out of this
I had
story. You're the
mono and
reason
panic
why you're
disorders
here.
and
You talk
depression,
about this
and I
because you're the
desperately needed to
problem.
sleep.
And
My
no math
husband
question
had the
is ever
weekends
gonna
off,
solve it.
and you can guess
Solve it, sir.
There were never any issues then.
Was it?
It
So,
was insane and infuriating.
so,
Everyone believed me when I said I was having problems.
solve,
But there was only so
solution,
much I could
solution
do.
it. Solve and
My
solution. I try to
father-in-law
say those in
brought over
one
one
word.
of his shotguns, a 12 gauge, knowing that I was
12
a good
gauge,
shot.
bruh, no.
He told me to use it if I needed to.
Yeah, he's gonna
Another
use it on you.
background
He's
is
gonna
that I
turn
shot
the
trap for
tablet. He's
years.
gonna turn the tables.
When I was 18,
Turn the
I
tablet.
placed
Get a
second
notebook out.
district.
Just
I
jot
chose
things
not to go
down
to
for no
state,
apparent reason.
but knowing I was good enough for second was a proud moment for me.
What? You'd rather
My
have
father-in-law
seconds rather than
made
the
me
first
promise I
meal?
would use it if it came to it.
What?
So I did. One night, my husband was at work,
He
and I
was?
guess my body
Was he in
finally
IT
shut off.
working
I
overshift just
fell
like the
asleep
last
for
story I
once,
heard?
only to be awoken
Well,
at
actually,
1
it
a.m.
wasn't the last.
to
It
the
might have though,
sound
but
of our neighbor's
it wasn't
truck
on a
tearing out from
PhD
behind
reaction
the trailer.
spree.
I jumped up
You
and
jumped
looked
up?
outside to see them
Yeah,
driving
Shawn Michaels
out
jumped up a lot of
our
times.
driveway. They started speeding up in front
In
of the
fact,
house,
he uses.
and I called the cops again. I called my dad, my mum, and my dad came over
Pretty sure your dad doesn't
because
want to
I
talk to
was
you.
in full panic attack mode. My dad called my husband, who came immediately.
Ugh.
There were tire marks in the grass behind the trailer.
This guy needs to stop talking. That's messed up.
They couldn't necessarily prove it was them, despite me describing their truck.
Oh, and when I was on my rampage, or of yelling or whatever, I might have missed out, like, you know, if this guy's repaying that, you know, like a girl is him in the story. So just bear. Wait, is this? Okay, it's 5, so I don't have to sit through 43 minutes of this guy rambling about him
My
and
dad
his
told the cops this had been going on long enough.
15-hour
But
planned,
again, there
what
was
have
not
you,
enough
with
evidence
this
nor
guy.
proof. A week. Just one more week until I could go with my family to Florida. I somehow managed to be...
Mr. and Mrs. Butt Smith are here. They added what? Wait, did they combine names or was one of them Butt Smith?
bridesmaid in my older brother's wedding,
Bridesmaid?
despite being so sick. I was doped up on medication to keep me calm, so that I wouldn't have another panic attack.
Okay, I don't think this
To be
is
honest,
good to say.
I don't recall much about that day, other than it poured with rain.
Yeah.
My husband, naturally, was at work. I was sitting at home. Our two cats soundly asleep, and I was playing my 3DS with Markiplier on the TV for background.
Okay. If you choose who you marry, such as that guy, don't even watch Markiplier. You don't even... Ugh.
The time around midnight, my cats suddenly awoke and came unglued.
Dear David all over again.
They ran to the side door, then to the front door, growling and hissing.
See, told you. Okay, I'm scared. Bye. Is there anything scary? Ooh.
They'd never behaved that way before, so I started to get up to see what it was they were freaking out about. When I hear it, "How are we gonna do this?"
Ugh.
I froze. I heard them. I heard their footsteps as they walked up and down the front porch. I wasn't sure how many there were, but I knew for a fact there were at least 3 men outside. My curtains were closed, and most of the lights were off. But the TV was on, and surely they could hear Markiplier's eccentric volume. They had gotten quieter. I heard their footsteps on the porch again. I grabbed my phone, shakily swiping it until I found my dad's number and calling him. I remember breathing hard, feeling a panic. Hello? They're here. I remember sobbing. They're on the porch, Daddy. They want to get in. I'm on my way. Call the cops. I hung up. Then heard them talking amongst themselves. Wanted to break in and what they wanted. I ran into the bedroom, grabbed the 12 gauge, opened the chamber to see it fully loaded.
Looks like I'm not scared to watch this no more.
I left the lights off. I decided I was going to have them caught this time, and I wasn't going to run off. The dispatch answered, and I told them what was going on. As sick as I was, I managed to hold that shotgun to my shoulder, pointed at the door, remembering everything my dad taught me about shooting while I was a hunter, and when I shot trap. But I was still scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
Somehow I kept my panic attack down, but I was still...
What? It's like you guys saw the thing for 4 seconds, and then 0.1.
Then the other one said, "It wouldn't be a problem." Oh my God. They're coming, sweetie, I promise. I'm armed. Excuse me? I'm armed. I said it, hoping that they'd hear me. With what, sweetheart? 12 gauge. They want to hurt me. I'm not gonna let them. She's armed.
Well, you know how
heard him
you
tell
cannot
the police, who were supposed to be on their way.
fall down.
I heard
and jump out the
from
door.
one of the guys outside. Then silence. Ma'am? I can't. I heard the footsteps, leaving. Then saw the lights to my dad's truck.
You know what else you heard?
My dad's here.
A foot crack.
I lowered the shotgun and ran outside. My dad and younger brother running out of the truck. My dad had the Judge in hand, which is a pistol that shoots 12 gauge rounds and feels like a hand cannon. You'd swear you'd just broken your wrist. While my younger brother was holding a knife.
Entire story to this guy.
It's my dad and brother. They're armed too. Okay, what of the men?
Yeah, we're gonna go on for 14:55 now, and
disarm yourselves, okay? I thanked the dispatchers for everything.
You know,
And
so
about
you can
this
thank
time, the
them for
cops pulled up.
not
I told
showing
my
up.
dad and younger brother to disarm, so they put the weapons in the truck while I took my gun inside and sat in the kitchen on top of our dinner table.
Yeah.
My dad told
We're
me
gonna
to
do
get
put
back in the
some
house
lead
and
into
for my
the
younger brother
table
to go with me.
and then clean it up and realize
As
it's
soon
never
as I
going
stepped
away.
inside, the
For
panic
the
attack.
first time in
My dad
forever,
came inside for a moment and
there'll
hugged
be
me,
blood
telling me how
on the
brave I
table.
had been,
For the
especially
first
for holding
time
it as long
in
as I did.
forever, raw meat
Shaking,
will be
crying,
served.
gasping for breath, I listened as he
Gasping for
went back
breath.
outside. The cops found
Give me some
footprints
Southern
and an area
boys.
on the porch where the men had tried to break in at one point, but the men
Oh,
had
they
scattered,
tried?
leaving it difficult for the cops to
Would
trace
you
exactly
rebuild the
where they
barrier
came
just
from.
like you would do in
My
Nazi
dad told them
zombies?
it was the neighbors, and my landlord actually called and told the cops it was more likely our neighbors as well, who had apparently been giving my cousin who lives up the road a difficult time too. The cops noticed some of the footprints went into the neighbor's yard, but they weren't home, of course. I remember my dad and younger brother standing outside, just as the cops pulled up, yelling as loudly as they could that they would drop them if they ever so much as saw them around me again. Enough is enough, my dad yelled over and over. She's sick. She needs rest. Leave her the hell alone or I'll drop you, I swear. And I noticed he was crying. My dad isn't the type of person to do that. My whole life, I've seen my dad cry maybe a handful of times. When he talked about his deceased father, when my grandma died, when the doctors told me I was on death's door, when my younger brother was born, with 10 years difference between us. My dad had been scared that he wouldn't get there in time, and maybe, just maybe, I would hesitate to protect myself.
You always
But I
hesitate.
had made my mind up. I wasn't going to let them get away with it anymore.
Nowhere to run,
That night, my husband came home
from
from
here,
work
on the
and hugged me
phone
so tightly, I thought my lungs would burst.
Nowhere to
My
run,
younger brother
nowhere
texted
to
him what
run,
was going
nowhere
on,
to run.
but
I can
reassured him
feel
I
it,
was
never
okay.
lost, nowhere to run,
A week
nowhere
later,
to
I
run.
went to Florida. Time went on, and I'm still getting better.
Bruh.
As for my neighbors, I've
This is
never had problems
I
with
want a
them
ghost
again.
story.
I'm not sure if it was the cops actually going to their house, or if it was my dad and younger brother threatening them. Or maybe it was me. Them hearing me
You're the
say that I
threat.
was armed. I don't know, and I don't care. They're still there, but I know they won't do anything. Ever. Again.
Spooky.
This happened to me over a year ago, at the end of March 2017, and I still can't be alone in my own home. 3 years earlier, I had moved into a house that my grandparents left me before they passed away. I'd spent some time renovating, and was happy enough with it to move in. My
It's the longest
grandparents had
story.
rented out the top floor to students, and had made it into a SMA apartment. When I moved in,
Saturday
I
Night
decided
Live.
to let my cousin, who had some small personal problems, to move upstairs, while my fiancé and I used the 2 remaining floors for ourselves. We lived in a small town, and like in any small town, everyone basically and I used the 2 remaining floors for ourselves. We lived in a small town, and like in any small town, everyone basically knows everyone. And like most men in our town, my fiancé is a fisherman and goes away for long periods of time during the winter, sometimes from January to May. In our town, there are 2 brothers that are, well, I guess you can call them weird. Some may say original.